Hello, you're watching The World Today from CGTN. I'm Jeff Moody in Beijing. The US Vice President Mike Pence has met with the Indonesian President Joko Widodo as part of his Asia-Pacific tour. The visit reflects closer ties between the US and Indonesia and is expected to deepen economic cooperation and increase people-to-people relations. CGTN's Silkina Awulawiyah reports now from Jakarta.
Mike Pence's visit to Indonesia is expected to strengthen strategic partnerships between the two countries that stem back to as far as 1949. Over the years, Indonesia and the U.S. have seen a steady increase in various sectors such as energy relations, maritime, and also defense. For this visit, Pence and Widodo are focusing on terrorism, among other security issues. Recently, Indonesia has been dealing with several minor militant attacks, and both countries are looking to work together on how to tackle that issue. However, there are mixed opinions regarding this visit, where some international law experts believe that Trump's controversial executive orders, such as his recent immigration policy, do not reflect Indonesia's moral and political values. Experts say there could be a shift in bilateral relations between both countries, especially because of Trump's protectionist outlook on trade and investment. But regardless of that, this visit will boost economic ties to a certain extent, and it will also be a good opportunity for Pence to learn about Indonesia's diversity and interfaith tolerance. Silkina Awulawiyah, CGTN, Jakarta.
Well, earlier, the Vice President visited the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier in Japan, where he highlighted the ongoing threat from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
North Korea is the most dangerous and urgent threat to the peace and security of the Asian Pacific. As President Trump has made clear to the world, the era of strategic patience is over. And those who would challenge our resolve or our readiness should know we will defeat any attack and meet any use of conventional or nuclear weapons with an overwhelming and effective American response.
Meanwhile, NBC News has cited multiple sources saying that the US president has been presented with three options if diplomatic solutions were to fail in the region. They include deploying US nuclear weapons in South Korea, targeting and killing DPRK leader Kim Jong-un and other senior leaders, as well as deploying special forces from the US and South Korea to take out key nuclear infrastructures. US Vice President Pence boarded the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier in Japan and made a speech calling the DPRK the most urgent and dangerous threat to peace and security in the Asia-Pacific region. He added that the US would defeat any attack with an overwhelming and effective American response. Well, earlier we spoke with Tung Dian-chun, the Director of American Studies Department at the China Institute of International Studies.
After at least 2.5 months tension in DPRK in Korean Peninsula, we have witnessed the policy changes by the United States. During the campaign, President Donald Trump just said, "Easy, everything will be easy. We can have a phone call, have hamburger with DPRK leaders." But now, in the past 2.5 months. The United States deployed almost all its advanced weapon system, aircraft carriers, submarine, strategic bombers, and also special operational forces. And this time, especially in recent 2 or 3 days, we have witnessed another fundamental change. A peaceful negotiation dialogue might be the most important choice for the parties concerned to solve the dispute in Korean Peninsula. So I think the policy by the U.S. government at this moment toward DPRK actually is still under transition. No one knows what will be, even the military pressure on DPRK. It's still there. But I don't think this is the final policy by Donald Trump.
South Korea is reportedly planning to deploy its supersonic anti-ship missiles in 2020. The range of the missiles is between 300 and 500 kilometers, but other details remain unknown. The ROK military said that the DPRK is working on its 4 armoured anti-ship missiles and supersonic anti-ship missiles. Some analysts believe that the DPRK is exploring new types of tactical nuclear weapons and that the anti-ship missiles will be used in the DPRK's anti-access and regional block strategies. Well, one of the moves that's contributed to the heightened tensions on the Korean Peninsula is the announcement that a US naval strike group was headed there. The Trump administration last week said the group was heading to the Korean Peninsula as a show of force against Pyongyang. But subsequent media reports said otherwise, once again backing the White House into an awkward corner. CGTN's Jessica Stone reports from Washington.
During his Asia-Pacific trip, U.S. Vice President Mike Pence has filled his speeches with words of reassurance to allies in the face of an escalating crisis on the Korean Peninsula.
The United States of America will always seek peace, but under President Trump, the shield stands guard and the sword stands ready.
The USS Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group is supposed to be a symbol of that reassurance, but while U.S. officials, including President Donald Trump, indicated last week the carrier was headed to the Korean Peninsula to deter the DPRK from launching a missile or testing a nuclear device, these U.S. Navy images dated April 15th show it was not. It was 3,500 miles away, going in the opposite direction. A senior administration official tells CGTN that before April 9th, the White House had decided to move the carrier group towards the Korean Peninsula, but only after participating in naval exercises with Australia in the Indian Ocean. Defense Secretary James Mattis says that won't happen, though, until this week.
She will be on her way, and I'll determine when she gets there.
While neither Japan nor the Republic of Korea had any immediate official response, a leading South Korean presidential candidate told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "If that was a lie, then during Trump's term, South Korea will not trust whatever Trump says." The message of reassurance the U.S. is trying to send has been apparently undercut by reality.
How is this White House explaining to South Korea and Japan that, in fact, during the buildup and the actual DPRK missile launch, there was no USS Carl Vinson?
No, but, well, respectfully, Jessica, I would ask you to either touch base with PACOM or the Department of Defense. The statement that was put out was that the Carl Vinson group was headed to the Korean Peninsula. It is headed to the Korean Peninsula. It'll arrive there.
It's now, though.
What's that?
It's headed there now. It wasn't headed there
Sure,
last
no,
week.
but that's not what we ever said. We said that it was heading there.
Pence told a reporter aboard the USS Ronald Reagan he believes Trump meant to signal that the U.S. is ready to defend its allies. With escalating rhetoric from both Pyongyang and Washington about the future of the peninsula, it's a message the region still wants to hear. Jessica Stone, CGTN, Washington.